What is going on, everyone? My name is Jason, and this is the Sandmarc Wide Angle Lens for the iPhone X.
I'm on my own, broken and alone. I feel the rain crashing down.
Okay, so for most people, the camera that they use the most is the one that's on their smartphone. With this being the case, it's no surprise that camera quality is a big factor in deciding the type of smartphone people usually end up purchasing, and smartphone manufacturers have answered in kind by putting some seriously awesome cameras in their phones. Now, the cameras on the iPhone X are superb. The dual 12 megapixel setup is able to capture stunning photos and beautiful 4K video. Even the front-facing 7 megapixel camera can take some really good selfies. But one thing that always kind of irks me about the iPhone's cameras is their focal lengths. The framing on both the front and back cameras always feel just a tad too zoomed in for my liking, and I've always longed for a wider view. Well, the folks over at Sandmarc heard my cry, and they sent me over this guy. This lens that looks like it's meant for a DSLR is actually made for the iPhone X. And let me tell you guys, this thing is awesome. Now, before we jump into the review, if you're interested in checking out the latest consumer tech products before you buy them, or if you're just a tech head like me, I make a video like this every single week, so make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on that bell icon so you can be the first to know when a new JSL review is out and you don't miss anything. That being said, let's check out the Sandmarc lens. So let's start with a quick unboxing here. Open it up and you have a case for the iPhone X, as well as a microfiber pouch with some goodies in it. Now, as far as the case is concerned, it's a pretty basic case made out of hard plastic, but it is coated in this semi-grippy, soft touch material, which is nice. It's pretty thin, so it's not so intrusive, and it doesn't completely bulkify the phone, but it's not going to win any awards for best looking or most protective case in the world. But that's not really the point of this case. It's actually designed to be the primary way in which you mount the lens to your iPhone X. It has this threaded cutout right here that not only ensures that the lens is securely mounted to the phone, but also makes sure that you have it perfectly lined up to the rear camera. A big plus here is that the threaded cutout is lined with metal, which is significantly better than it being lined with plastic, and it speaks to the quality that Sandmarc holds itself to. The other good thing about the case is that if you don't have the lens on it, you could still use the iPhone X's cameras totally fine, even the secondary optical zoom lens, which is a nice touch. Now, moving on to what's in the carrying case, first up we have this clip mount, the secondary way in which you can mount the lens to your phone. This also has a high quality threaded mount coated in metal, and the clip is really tight. It takes some good pressure to pry it open, which is important as you don't want it easily sliding off your phone in use. There's a nice rubber padding on the inside so it doesn't scratch up or damage the phone when you clip it on, and I appreciate having a way to get this lens on and off my phone quickly. Okay, with the two mounting options out of the way, let's get into the star of the show, the glass. And man, no joke guys, this thing is a quality lens. It legit feels like a miniature version of one of my stupid expensive lenses I have for my DSLR. The entire housing is made out of metal, including the mount, which again is super important for long-term use. And just look at the glass on this thing. The multi-coated optics just scream premium, and the craftsmanship that went into this phone accessory is phenomenal. The use of high-end materials makes this lens noticeably heavy in the hand, and it has an overall solid build quality that really differentiates it from its competitors. Attaching the lens to the case is super easy. Just get the case on your phone, remove the lens cover on the back, and screw it on to the mount on the case. Once you have it on, it feels secure, and I like how the lens almost feels like it's part of the phone rather than an attachment. The metal mount really gives you a sense of confidence carrying this around, and with the added weight, you feel like you're holding a dedicated professional camera as opposed to a smartphone. Now, this is a 16mm lens, and Sandmarc claims that it gives you around 2 times more of a wider view than the iPhone X stock lens. So here are some shots with the lens off, and here's what it looks like with the lens on. And yeah, it's a pretty significant difference. You can definitely squeeze a lot more into the frame without having to move back, and though that in and of itself is a win, the real standout feature to me is the quality of the images with the lens on. Now, you could find a ton of these clip-on, screw-on lens accessories for phones on Amazon for pretty cheap, but you pay for it in image quality. Not the case here. The images are extremely sharp, with minimal to no aberrations or distortions that are often easily noticeable on cheaper lenses. Even when shooting video, you don't see any unwanted fisheye effect or flaring, and I gotta say, I was quite impressed. Now, using the clip requires a little bit more attention to detail when getting it on your phone, as if you don't have it lined up properly, it'll probably mess up the image, but it's pretty easy to do once you get the hang of it, and the beauty of the clip is that it also allows you to use the lens of the front camera as well. Here's a selfie with the lens off, and here's one with the lens on, and you can see a big difference. Love this wider view. It makes taking selfies a lot easier, and you could squeeze in a lot more people into the frame. And again, with the lens of this caliber, you don't sacrifice image quality. Okay, so without a doubt, this is the best lens attachment I've ever used on a phone, period. That being said though, it comes at a cost. And I'm being literal here, as the Sandmarc Wide Angle Lens is more expensive than most of the lenses out there. But there is a clear distinction in both build and image quality that totally justifies the price difference. And if you're seriously into Instagram and mobile photography, spending the extra dollars here is worth it. At least in my opinion. Okay, that's about it for this review. Don't forget to leave me a thumbs up if you guys enjoyed it. It really helps me out. Big shout out to Sandmarc for sending me out this lens. Let me know what you guys think of it in the comments down below. Now, in case you guys missed my last video on my favorite free iPhone 10 apps for the month of April, I'll leave a link to it in the description and I'll throw it on one of the end cards in case you guys are interested. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.